7th, and you said Fort Wash, right?
Yeah,
They're
177 in
probably
Wadsworth, 177 in Wadsworth.
Bosworth, right. So they're all poorly leaked,
And that's another thing that we noticed.
right? And
They're
is
poorly
there?
lit.
I think it calls for a meeting with the Manhattan
DOT
DOT
maybe?
Borough Commissioner,
We
with
thought
DOT
about
Borough's
that.
Commissioner. Yeah, I think you guys should meet. Probably gonna wear that hat and probably get someone to call you guys.
Okay, that'll be great.
Yeah, because you guys, I remember those three spots,
Yeah,
and I know that
absolutely.
it's no lights in there.
Absolutely. And one more we have on location on Edgecombe, 155 in Edgecombe. And again, poorly lit areas, but with DOT's help, that would benefit us greatly. For now, we just have to, try to address the issue with our personnel. You guys have any questions?
I have a question. It's more of a follow-up question. It was about the incident with the elderly man that was pretty much killed in 161 in Broadway with the robbery in the apartment. I asked in December, January, February. No one was here last month, so I just wanted to circle back on that topic.
161 in an apartment?
Yes, it was
That
for a home invasion situation.
no, that doesn't sound familiar. That doesn't sound the home invasion situation that we have.
November
Oh, wait,
2022.
wait, wait. I think I know what you're talking about. And I don't think I could really discuss that case right now on the open forum. If you want to
Oh,
give me a call or, one of our community affairs officers, because that's still ongoing. And I believe that was with the son and the father inside the apartment, right? Does that sound familiar?
From my understanding, based on ABC News,
Hmm.
they said that it was a robbery attempt, and he ended up trying to escape. And he ended up falling through the window, and certain amount of money and like jewelry was stolen from the elderly man in his 70s.
Again, it's a pending investigation still. But yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
I think he had a business owner that was
Okay.
probably targeted. Okay, so I'm sorry, I cannot discuss that on this forum.
Okay, that's fine.
One incident that you guys probably were not aware of, I thought you were gonna bring that one up, was on we had an incident on February 25th. It was a Tuesday, and then we had another incident on February 28th, and it was the same perpetrators on this incident. So on 155 on Edgecombe, what they call the aqueduct path, an individual was robbed there. Not only was he robbed, they asked him for his property. It was two individuals, and he said no, he wasn't gonna give his property up. So he was assault. He was stabbed. He was stabbed, and then this happens on Tuesday. Then on Friday, he targets another individual. We already had by Friday. We already had pictures out, wanted flyers. On Friday, he targets a 17-year-old, and this happens in the early evening, and we got them both that same day. So again, it was two incidents that happened in the 3-3. One incident happened in the 3-0. The perpetrators, one of them did live in the 3-0, and the victim's phone was pinging to the 3-0 precinct to a certain apartment. We were able to get a search warrant with the help of the district attorney's office, and we did make an arrest. So we closed out three complaints. We closed out the two from the 3-3, one from the 3-0, and these two individuals, one of them, they were charged with attempted murder because they did stab this individual. He didn't, he was he survived, and he was in bad shape, but again, he was able to give us a detailed information as to what happened. He was in a dimly lit area of the park because we do have cameras in certain parts of the park, but these individuals were charged with attempted murder, and they're still in custody. So again, with the parks, especially now that it's getting warmer out, just be aware. Try to walk in areas where are lit, where there's lighting, because there's a lot of places in Highbridge Park they are lighted, and they our detectives did an excellent job with that. And again, because that phone was pinging to the confines of the 3-0 precinct to a specific apartment, we were able to make an arrest really quick. We have photos out quickly, but what the main thing was that we figured this is pretty vicious because you shouldn't lose. First of all, you shouldn't be robbed and you shouldn't be the victim of any crime. But then on top of that, he got stabbed, which is very unfortunate. But he's fine. And again, he was able to give us good information to the point where the detectives were able to backtrack and they got good video surveillance and video images of these two individuals. But they're in custody. And this was February 25th, one incident. The other incident was February 28th. Does anyone, I'm not sure if anyone was aware of that, but maybe because we just worked on this so quickly.
Very good. Are you gonna give us the comp stats, or is that gonna be the lieutenant?
Okay, I'll let the lieutenant give you the CompStat numbers. I mean, we're very low, and I hate to say, we're doing good, we're doing better than last year, but our major crimes are the grand larcenies. Hey, Mike, you have the numbers?
Just one last
Okay, I'll give
question.
you the numbers quickly. Let me give you the numbers. That's why I kind of like getting into specifics. So let's say I'm gonna give you our total major index crimes, right? Last year we were at 19 index crimes for this week, right? This year we're at 15, right? So for instance, last year we didn't have any murders, we didn't have any rapes at this time for the week. We had 3 robberies versus 7 from last year, from the year before, from last year. We have 3 felony assaults versus last year we had 2. Burglaries were even 2 for 2. Grand larcenies, and grand larcenies is, we have property taken from your person. We have 2 this week. Last year we had 6. So again, total major index crime 15 versus 19. I just like getting into specifics because I know certain crimes are really personal. And every crime, actually, to me, every crime is personal because we try to battle these numbers. If you want to hear the 28 day,
Yes.
okay, so the 28 day, this year, 61 index crimes. Last year we had 79 during this same time. And again, murder and rape, we were even. Last year, same thing this year. Robberies, right now we're at 9 for the 28-day period. Last year we were at 18. Felony assaults, we're at 13. Last year we were 19. Burglaries, we're at 9. Last year we were at 8, so we're up we're up 1. Grand larcenies, and with the burglaries, sometimes when we go into certain stores like Rite Aids, Marshalls, Port Authority has a few stores. They're charged once they go in a second time after they sign the trespass affidavit. They're charged with burglary. So a lot of our burglaries are that type of burglary where it's isolated to a store. Once you sign that form, you are not allowed to go back to that store. So that's why the numbers are a little higher this year. Grand larceny, 16 for the 28-day period versus 27 last year. And the grand larceny auto is what's driving us. It's 14 28-day. And last year we only had 7. And that's the concerning spike where we see the Kia, the 2 Kias, the Ford van, we have the Acura, we have the Honda, we have the tires and rims, we have, the issue that Honda and Acura apparently are pretty much, Acura is a higher end of Honda. And these perpetrators, they have clone keys. So when our victims call us and say, yeah, I parked there and I have copies of both my keys and no one has authority to drive my vehicle, we know that, there is a ring of perpetrators going around. They are able to reprogram that key. And that's why we have the resources. We have auto crime working on this as well. And we're on it. We're definitely on it. It's driving Manhattan North as a whole. And I think the 3-4 is also having a problems with the tires and rims and these vehicle thefts. They could speak on it more. I know ours, we had a couple of vehicles. Like I said, one was recovered in Harlem We have 3 that were recovered in the Bronx. We have 2 that went to New Jersey. What I asked also is the 2 of them that we had during the day, it's that people left their cars unattended. One person went to buy fruits, and he left his vehicle running, and another person on 101 in Haven, she left the car running for a few minutes while she went into the store. Right away, again, we have people that take the opportunity to take the vehicle. They took the vehicle and went into Jersey. So this is the crime that's driving us right now is those grand larceny autos and the vehicle break-ins, poorly lit
Question.
areas, and again, items left in the vehicle. We don't want any valuable items left in the vehicle. Sometimes people leave their laptops, they leave their backpacks. So whoever's walking, they see okay, there's something in there. It might be of value, and they go in the backpack. Um, so again, these are our major issues right now that we're tackling.
Any questions from anyone, either from our board members or the public? I do have a question as far as, one is, staff, how many officers do you have currently?
Okay, so
Are you at capacity? And number two, is there a preventive plan for the summer? As far as the police department or the 33rd?
So we have 116 POs and detectives. Some of them, are restricted. Some of them are, on military. I would say we have about functional, maybe 110. What plan do we have for the summertime? Right now, we haven't started preparing our summer plans. Our rookies right now are still in the 3-4 precinct. They've pretty much been in the 3-4 precinct throughout, whole year, because after the summertime, there was a fall zone. And again, we're just trying to drive crime, and they're trying to put the resources as best where they can fit them best. So right now we don't have a summer plan yet.
Thoughts, comments, questions?
No question, but thank you for the great update. And if I could give you a medal for your running down the hall, I would.
Thank you.
Good hustle.
Thank you.
Olympic medalist. Thank you very much. Now we are moving along to the 3-4. Navarrete, Officer Navarrete. Floor is yours.
Actually, I'm not Officer Navarrete. I'm Sergeant Reyna. I have issues logging on earlier today. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So I'm feeling. I was a last minute call up. My commanding officer and executive officer are on other duties today. So I'm Sergeant Reyna, the neighborhood coordination sergeant for the 3-4 precinct.
Oh, now we can't hear you.
I have more or less an idea what you guys, so a little breakdown on the 3-4. We have, like the captain says, we have similar issues because we're neighboring precincts. We have a huge rim and tire situation here, especially targeting the Cabrini and Pinehurst area of the 3-4 precinct. It looks like it's an organized crime ring, as we suspect, targeting Hondas and Acuras, exactly as in the 3-3 precinct. Obviously, we're close neighbors, so they're just picking us off and doing the same thing, hitting us, especially areas near the bridge, and going over. We're getting it's an obvious problem. It's a known problem. We're getting assistance from my unit, my team, which is NCOs of the precinct. Also, the conditions teams, we're all working later tours, especially on Fridays and Saturdays. And the borough is initiating a motor larceny team, and they're using officers from all commands and backfilling, almost making a a bigger team to combat, and they started them real late, usually around the times that these crimes are happening. Um, the 3-4 is very obviously is very diverse and has a lot of things going on. We have a lot of different cultures here and a lot of different problems, from our nightlife to our obviously our other side of the precinct. But any questions?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks for the update there, Sergeant Reyna, and I do have a question for you about a situation that's been ongoing over on Arden Street with
Yes.
a number of roosters on the property. I've been going back and forth with the liaison from the Department of Health over the weekend, and I understand from them that the 34th precinct went in to remove some of the animals from that property. Is that correct? I think that might have happened this morning.
I'll have to get back to you on that. I started working today at 3:00. I haven't been updated on. So today they had an animal removal issue. I could definitely get back to you. I'll give you my email and I'll get back to you and I'll get back to you guys. I didn't hear anything about it. I'll definitely update you guys on it. Sorry.
No, that'd be grand if you could let me know. It's been just like a months-long problem, and I know that a lot of people have been working really hard on it. So we're hoping that we can get basically, take care of get those animals off the properties and stuff. So,
Absolutely.
thank you.
There was 2 stabbings in 190 Street in Audubon consecutively. Like, it was 2 stabbings one day, and the following morning there was another stabbing. That was about a month ago, roughly. But you guys weren't here in the last meeting, so I meant to ask you, is there any updates on perpetrators being caught, or I don't see any police officers there?
Yeah, we have 2 people that are wanted in regards to that. Actually, one person is wanted in regards to that. In regards to stabbing. That happened on St. Nick between.
Your audio's a little glitchy. We can't hear you too well.
Sorry, it's my phone. That particular felony assault, that stabbing happened on St. Nicholas between 190 and 192. Correct? I mean to 192. That's the stabbing you're talking about?
Yeah, the stabbing in the corner, the bodega 190th.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
across the street from Isabella.
yeah, we do have a person. We do have a person that has what we call an I card.
Right.
And he is wanted, and he is actively being sought after in regards to that stabbing.
Yeah. At some point in time, because I'm usually around there a lot at the park. Because I know you guys are very, very short-staffed. I think that we understand that. But if you really wanna get to the bottom of it, and I'm sure that you've driven by it, I think that bodega is like their home. It's like where they all hang out and hide and do whatever before crimes is committed. The bodega is really, really like the protection haven for them. So at which point do you guys wanna really like look at that as?
No, we have. So we made it. Well, my NCOs is consist of 8 officers. We have actually put it on record as a precinct condition on Salesforce. That's how we keep track, and that's how we communicate within the job. And we made it. It's known to us, and we're attempting to tackle that issue, but we have to tackle it the right way.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about. On the corner, I know.
Right.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I drove by it yesterday. I looked at it. It's known to us. I know 100% what you're talking about.
It's still obvious to even.
No, yeah. So yesterday, all right. So let me tell you. So, I mean, now that we're talking about it, right? So that yesterday I drove by. You gotta be careful and see the difference between people that really are in front of there and people that are not doing the right thing. Yesterday when I drove by there, you gotta be careful. I have, unfortunately, I do have I could tell, I could tell, they're not criminals, right? That was there yesterday. They're not criminals. They weren't doing bad things. Regular older people in front of the store. So you gotta be careful. I don't think the time that I'm in the daytime is the problem. It's the nighttime crowd that's the issue. Those are the ones that we suspect are probably moving narcotics there. But again, we got to be strategic on how we approach this. You know, we still got to follow the law. We still got to do it by the law. You know, so it's a slippery slope that we got to follow.
I understand, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention that
It's
two stabbings,
yeah.
like one day and then the following day is just kind of like a bit extra. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Is known to us, yeah. Unfortunately.
I know that you guys are busy. That strip between 183rd to 190th. I'm
No.
sure.
So yeah, sir, just so we all know, it wasn't 2 stabbings in 2 days. It was 2 people stabbed in 1 day.
2 people stabbed in 1 day.
Yeah, it wasn't 2 people in different days. So it's 2 people in 1 day.
All right. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, that would have definitely been a little much.
Yeah. I mean, I was there. I was like, somebody got stabbed. Where? He in the corner? I was like, I'm usually up there like at least twice a week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a question for the precinct. It's 2 questions.
For the 3-4?
Yeah, for the 3-4 precinct. One of them, it was recently brought to my attention, the scaffolding in front of the precinct, and community members asked me, is there any update on what exactly the construction is, and when do we expect the scaffolding to come down? Because from the view from Wadsworth going down to Broadway, it seems like there's no construction going on from observations. So if there's any update you can give us on the scaffold?
No update to report. According to our plant manager, which is the person that knows more or less the maintenance that's going on or future maintenance, it's supposed to be a new central air system or heating system supposed to be installed, but unfortunately, that's a question that should be yielded to our maintenance section, and we really don't get updates on that. I'll be honest with you. We don't have that kind of like. I just heard that honestly, and I don't want to give you false information. No. So to answer your question, I don't have no update.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, my other question is addressing the elephant in the room about 34th Precinct's news article that came out going on, very controversial, regarding the deception of the former commissioner, and nightlife in Washington Heights. So that makes me wonder if there's some sort of like accountability for what is reported, whether it's for businesses, backdoor businesses in the district with, the precinct, accountability for our officers, like what can the precinct share that's not, something that's not thoroughly under investigation or something like that?
So those kind of questions, respectfully, I would have to direct you to our legal department. I'm not. It's still an open investigation, an internal NYPD investigation, and I'll direct that to our legal department. Any questions of that matter?
All right. Anything else? No? Thank you again for the hard work that you guys put in. Thank you very much.
Is our presenter, she's not here, right? Already, never came?
All right, we had in our agenda, for the record, a self-defense, martial arts, school that wanted to come and speak to us about a program that they're trying to have the community take advantage of. unfortunately for reasons that might have not, that are unknown, unbeknownst to us, she did not come. Hopefully things are okay with her, and we'll probably have her next time. Looking forward to hear her and to take advantage of what she has to offer the community. I think that it's been an extremely informed meeting, and unless our board members and colleagues have anything else to add, Ms. Boynton, you're more than happy to voice and say and ask whichever. You would have to unmute yourself.
You're muted, Claudia.
You know her? Can hear you.
Okay, there it is. Yes.
Here you
I'm
are.
a 15-year resident up on Pinehurst, and I have, compared to everything I'm listening to, it's really not, it's a minor problem, but we have a very bad intersection at Pinehurst and 183rd. We have, that stretch of Pinehurst has legally been declared a slow zone. We've had two sets of what do you call them, inserted into the road speed bumps. Vehicular movement is supposed to stop at 183rd and Pinehurst to then make their left over to Fort Wash. Nobody stops at that. Nobody stops there. Nobody. I've been doing this anecdotally for over 3 years. I personally stand in the middle of the road and dare them to knock me down when they're coming across up Pinehurst. I've gotten clipped there, my dog. We've had a woman hit there by a car a few years ago. We have a lot of old people up here, a lot of children and nannies, and it's dangerous. So I wanted to know what I can do to ameliorate the situation. I don't know what that would be. I'm asking for help, but it's
Is
dangerous.
is there a stop sign or a speed hump in that?
There are two speed bumps on Pinehurst, right outside Hudson View Gardens. That would be like 182nd Street. There is a stop sign at 183rd and Pinehurst at the intersection there. There is a stop sign and nobody pays any attention. Nobody. And it's gotten worse over the past 2 years. That's why I started, anecdotally, I started monitoring it. And I'm out there all the time. I take my dog out, and almost gotten clipped by a few cars that will not stop. And so I'm just wondering. I want to be a good neighbor to my community, and I just want to know what I could do to try to help this, or ask for help, or what I could do. That's
Yeah,
all.
I'm gonna pass it along to the Department of Transportation, Board of Commissioners office in Manhattan.
Oh,
They're
okay.
gonna contact you. Is there a telephone number that they can call you if
Yes.
they wanna share with us?
Thank you very much.
What's that?
646 646
646.
499 1480.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I plan to start doing more of these community board meetings. They're very interesting. They're a little stomach turning to hear all the shit that's going on around. But I think it's important for me to hear it because we have a very big aging population along with the West Side yuppies that are coming up too. And it's hard for people to go out at night sometimes up here. But anyway, that's another story. So Department of Transportation will call me or get in touch
They
with
will
me?
call you, yeah, and from the customer service department, they're probably gonna give you a call between now and Friday, and
And
pass it
whenever.
along.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll just wait, but thank you. I appreciate that. And then we can go from there.
Claudia, thank you for raising your issue. And also, I wanted to say, I'll share this with some of our colleagues who are on our transportation committee.
Oh, thank you.
Sometimes there's a lot of overlap between public safety and transportation, and oftentimes we deal a lot more with legal enforcement, and
I
the
see.
transportation committee does a lot more with like the DOT. So on top of Eleazar passing that along, I'll follow up on our side to see
Thank
if
you.
they have heard anything else and can help with
Yes.
anything else on that front, so.
I'm willing to volunteer to do whatever I can to be of help.
Come and join us as a public member. We need more voices.
You mean in person? You mean I have to drag my butt over there in person and
You
not
can
do
do it
video?
You can do it online.
You can do it remotely.
No,
That'll be fine.
I would rather come in person because I think that's better.
We'll love it. There's nothing to
gonna-
give you though.
Yeah, no, I know. I'll do
Water
it.
and
I'll
tea.
come over.
The city's
Well-
very cheap. Water and tea, that's all we can help for you.
I'll bring my own water.
Nice. So, unless we have any other nice comments to make,
And thank you for all your work, all of you. Thank you very much.
we can call this meeting to order, right?
Old business, thank you for the resolution from last month,
Thank you.
very admirable and taking that on and sharing it with the general board was great, so thank you.
Thank you.
I'm good.
That's it, all good?
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you,
Good
everyone.
night.